Hi, my name's Sarah. I'm going to be showing you the Wildwood travel trailer. It's a 28 BBXL bumper pull. We're going to start with the front door and then we'll work our way around and I'll show you all the components. So when you open up your front door, you do have a screen door. So you can open up your screen door and have fresh air through it, and this keeps the mosquitoes and the bugs from coming in. And then when you shut your front door, your screen door will always come back with it, so you don't run into it. And on your stairs here, you just lift them up and you tuck them inside the door, and then your front door will also shut behind it. Now, if for some odd reason your door doesn't want to shut, it's doing this little wobbly thing, is because your stairs aren't adjusted right. So just open your door and adjust your steps to make sure they're inside that frame properly so the way the door will shut. Then you just pull this lever to release your steps to be able to put them back down. Now you can adjust your legs by pushing this button in and running them up and down. So that way if you're in an unlevel position, you can adjust your steps to where you're not bouncing. And then you can shut your door. In here is one of the storage compartments. It has a magnet now, so you don't have to worry about holding it or breaking a clip or anything. And then you also have a dry erase board here. So if you'd like to leave a note or make a checklist so that way you don't break something or forget something, it's great to have. And here's your storage compartment. So you do have a laundry basket you can access from the inside. So that way your laundry's not all in the way. And then you store all your camping things, your chairs, your luggage, your leveling blocks, whatever you need inside there. And then when you travel, this just shuts the door and latches it, but you're going to want to use your key to lock the door so that way it doesn't accidentally fly open or something like that. Here are your stabilizer jacks. Stabilizer jacks are not leveling jacks, they are just meant to keep the trailer from rocking. So when you put them down, they're going to make a different sound. So when someone screams at me, I stop doing what I'm doing because I don't know what's going on. So that's what these are going to do. They're going to make a small screaming noise. So when you hear that scream, you want to stop. Now if you're inside, she's still a little rocky, come out here and just tap her one or twice and get her sturdy for you. Now I'm going to tell you how to break the stabilizer jacks. So when you're in your vehicle and you're done traveling, you want to work your way away from your truck. So always start at the front and then work your way towards the rear. Because when you mess with your front jack, if you've already put your stabilizers down, you're going to end up messing them up by messing with your front tongue jack. So if I go down right now with my stabilizers down, I'm going to put pressure on them and then they're going to bend and break. So I don't want to do that. I always want to level front to back with my tongue jack first. And then I'll go operate my stabilizer jacks. Inside here is my propane. So I always want to make sure my propane's nice and tight so it doesn't go rocking down the road. If it goes rocking down the road, you're going to have a bad day. So always make sure that wing nut is nice and tight. And then you got your automatic regulator. So I always like to tell people to leave one propane bottle on and leave one off. So that way if this propane bottle runs out, I come turn this one on and I know I got propane in my tank. And here is the battery. So you have your battery back here. It's all hooked up for you. So if you are not running on your 50 amp power, you are running on your battery. But when you run on your battery, you only get your lights, your water pump, your water heater, and that's it. You lose your 110 and everything. Now when you're going to go store the unit, you're going to want to turn this battery disconnect off. So that way you kill your battery. It's just like pulling the negative off the battery, but it saves you from having to take the lid off and all that fun jazz. So when you're traveling, you want to have it turned on. So traveling, have it turned on. When you're parked and storing, you want to have it turned off. The reason you want to have it on when you're traveling is so that way your truck can charge your battery so it can run your refrigerator. Also, you have electric brakes here. Now, if my trailer comes away from my truck, I want to be able to control it. So this will end up pulling and locking up my brakes. But if my battery disconnect is turned off, it won't lock up my brakes. So always travel with your battery disconnect turned on. And these are my safety chains, so I hook these up to the truck, and then this is my 7-way power to hook up to the truck, so that way I have running lights, brakes, and clearance lights. And the propane cover camper does stay on. They travel from Indiana all the way on, so it should stay on for you. Here's my VIN number, my tire information, and my cargo information, so that way I know how much weight I can put in it and still be able to tow properly. And then this is a pass-through storage, so I'll still be able to get into the storage compartment from the opposite side. And it has the same door, just a little smaller. So you'll latch that door and you'll lock it. This is my emergency window exit, so whenever, if there's a fire in the camper and I need to get out, I pull the screen off, open the window, and I shove everyone out of it. So that way everyone's safe. But that's only if you can't get to the front door. Now, if you're at the campground, it's not raining, you got water coming off your roof, it's from the condensation of the AC, so do not freak out. Now my side windows on my slide out, they do open so I can have a breeze through my slide out, but my panoramic windows do not open. And then, here is my water heater. This is a very important component, especially if you want hot water. So, here is my pressure release valve. I always want to make sure I have hot water in my water heater, so that way I can not blow it up. So, to do that, you turn your water on, you purge your hot water line, and water goes into the water heater. This does have the option of electric, so you can save yourself propane. So, I like to start it on propane because my water gets hotter quicker, and then I'll switch it over to electric so that way it'll keep the water warm. But here you'll just come here, push that button to on, and now it's on electric. There is a button on the inside on the control panel that I'll show you, and it operates the propane. So that signal will come over here, go tick, 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 and ignite. So you don't have to sit here with a lighter to try to ignite your water heater. It is only 6 gallons. This is my city water connection, so this is how most campers use it. They hook up their water hose and then they hook up to the city connection, and this supplies the water to your unit. And then you also have a water regulator here that you're going to want to use because your unit can only stand so much pressure. So this regulates it down to 40 to 50 psi. This here is your black tank flush. So if you're out at the campground getting ready to leave, you're going to want to flush out your tank so that way you don't store your stuff. So you're going to hook up here, let the water go in, let it fill up, then you'll hook up here and pull your black lever to let all the extra stuff out. So here's your black tank. So you'll always know because it's the bigger hole. And then this is your gray tank because it's got the smaller one and the gray handle, so that really helps distinguish the two. But you also have this black handle, so that saves you just in case you left one open, you won't get totally messed up. Now this is the 50 amp power cord with the unit, so you'll hook up this to have supply to the unit, and you can use everything, both ACs, the refrigerator, TVs, everything, so you wouldn't have a problem. Here is your cable satellite hookup, so when you're at a campground, you're going to hook up here so that way you can have cable or satellite, or if you have one of those satellite dome dishes, you'll hook up there, and then you'll be able to watch TV. Here is a ladder prep, so you can purchase a ladder to hook up there, and it sits on the ground and you'll be able to climb. And then you got your backup camera prep, so it's really good to have, so that way you can see what's going on in the back when you're driving, especially if you're not familiar with traveling with trailers. So you'll just keep your headlights turned on, and you'll be able to see everything going on in the back. And then you also have an emergency window in the back room, so that way if the kids are back there or someone's back there, they can get out in case they need to. These here are your stabilizer jacks for the rear. So you got one button that operates the back on both sides, and you got the one that operates the front on both sides. So you just push the button until it starts screaming at you. Alright. Now, if for some reason your switch goes out or the motor doesn't work or you can't get the jacks up, we always want to let you come home. So there is an override handle in the storage compartment for the stabilizer jacks and the front tongue jack. So you always can come home. And then here is your low point drains. So when you go to store your unit or not use it, or winter time's coming up, you're going to want to open up your 2 low point drains. You'll want to open up all your water faucets on the inside. And then you'll also want to open up the pressure release valve on the water heater, so that way it pushes all the water out of the water heater down through your low point drains. Always check your tire pressure. And then you also got these cool outside speakers. I love these things. They work great. I do recommend not Bluetoothing on the phone because sometimes it'll feed through the speakers and then everyone's going to hear your conversation. So if you're Bluetoothing, just take it off. Here is your furnace. There are bug screen protectors on here to keep the dirt daubers, bees, and wasps from getting in there. I have had a lady that sucked in a Walmart bag, so these are really good to protect your unit from getting damaged. One sucks in cold and one blows out hot. This here is a spray port. It's for your, a lot of people like to call it an outside shower. I like to call it a spray, just to rinse your feet off and things like that. So you can also wash the dogs, you can wash the kids, keep them from getting sand or dirt or mud inside the trailer. And then also when you're winterizing, you're going to want to release the pressure out of that hose behind it. So it's always good to hook it up and squeeze it out.